Don't we love it when a poem makes something pleasurable that we don't think should be that way? It's a kind of persuasion. The pleasure is that we think we know where we are, and then suddenly, just a little bit fearfully, we're taken in another direction. Cathy Coleman has a poem about the French actress Delphine Seyrig, and who else describing a film icon would notice your elbow bent, hand resting on your shoulder near the ropes of your neck, resting like a wing not beating. And her poem about Samuel Beckett describing the famous writer in terms of a total object of missing parts, as in the universe that is 80% dark matter, which we know exists only because of its pull on what we can see. Dark matter, which is dark, yet also transparent, as if, when I am heard, I can no longer be seen in a disguise, easily worn to a train wreck. Her first book, Cathy Coleman's first book, Borrowed Dress, won the University of Wisconsin Felix Pollock Prize in Poetry and was an LA Times bestseller. Her second collection is published by Tevin Bach. Her poems appear in many journals, Plowshares, Colorado Review, Gettysburg Review, and so on. She studied at UC Berkeley and SF State. She's taught many writing workshops at UCLA, USC, and California College of Arts and Crafts in Oakland. She has worked as a personal assistant to Martin Scorsese and as a script doctor. Her work has been translated into Russian, Italian, and, ready, Croatian. Who else can say that? Her third book of poems, Time Crunch, is published this fall by What Books Press, along Los Angeles Press, now in its 10th year, and having published about 40 books of poetry, fiction, and some nonfiction. And so it's with great pleasure that I introduce to you Cathy Coleman.
Thanks, Karen, for that beautiful introduction. And I want to thank Quentin of Beyond Baroque and What Press Books, without whom I would not be here. Well, I would be on the planet, but I wouldn't be in this room tonight. Sort of tethering my book together. Also, I want to thank all of you for coming out tonight on the Friday night. Is a series of, Karen read from a few of them, they're sort of homages to writers, musicians, actors, painters who have had an influence on me, been really important in my artistic growth. So, for pretty much my whole life, my adult life. So I had to come up with different artistic strategies, and sometimes I speak in their voice, sometimes, as in this poem about Kurt Schwitters, who was a collagist, I collaged a poem, so that sort of tethers the book together, and then there are poems in between that I also wrote. The last time I saw Janis Joplin. Just say yes to drugs. Come on, take it. For pain, insomnia, heartbreak, take your pick. With their I am sick, sick, and so very well, too well, washed down with Jack to molder or lodge in your liver. I am X-ray vision, songs about knives, and a Mexican opal on my finger. With buoyancy before drowning, the salvation pulse technology, that buzz between utterances, Console me, chaos. Make me feel good, yes. Without them, I'm a bad translation of the Bhagavad Gita, a quantum cup of joe that stings like speed, shot in your vein, a wound zipped shut so tight the blood root must suffer its unholy itch. If only I could disguise myself as summer. Never, never, never. Its hot, gleaming boulevards stretched out like muscle men. Those roller coaster sunsets with their pawnbroker silvers and golds and half-naked adolescent dawns. Just say yes. Take another little piece. Fondle the red oblong queen. Hum the oval blues, baby blues. The yellow I'm so lonesome for you. My quarry, my ghost girl. This next poem is based on the myth of Leda and the Swan. Most of you may or may not know that Zeus fancied a princess, Leda, turned himself into a swan. He turns himself into a lot of things. I kind of see him as the Greek mythological Me Too beginning. Harvey Weinstein of Greek mythology. I'm also going to be mentioning The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, which was a German expressionist film in the early 20th century, and it was the first true horror film, and so they painted these strange shadows on the scenery. It's all very great visually. Okay. Leda, outside Bisbee, Arizona. Another unslept night outside the cat-clawed trees, knife grass drawn from Dr. Caligari's cabinet. I'm bleached by moonlight. I cover myself with the autobiography of a frayed blanket, dissonant wind chimes, mother's faraway sea voice. Nothing works, so I go back to the bar where he still sits clutching gold rush brew. Nothing between us except his salt breath. A large man, like a chunk of mountain broken off. And suddenly we're in the weeds. He wants me to be nothing, his nothing, just like my father did. He wants me like that, prime numbered and factored out, wearing infinity's clothes. He enters me rutting, his weight pinning me as if gravity gave him an extra dose. I dig my nails into the hard winter of his back, bite his leathery shoulder. Then he's gone. As I lie under the neon sign, vacancy, I strip off to burrow into my bed, the stirred up dark like river dirt in a storm, rolling over and over, writhing with nearly visible snakes, when daybreak forces itself into my eyes. I pull another feather from my mouth. So in this sort of disjunctive climate that we're living in, this crazy, unheard of time, horrible time, this is a poem that it's kind of a metaphor for that. And a shout out to Judith Taylor, because this is one of the poems she's published in her magazine, Pool. It's called Dream House. And there's an epigraph that says, it's by André Breton, and it says, "Allow me to ignore that description of a room." I go into the kitchen and lie down on the couch, throw hard-boiled eggs into the fireplace. What wall separates tossing from turning? Which room knows enough Chinese to make the rug lie down? This house has lost its memory. Every day when I wake up, it is forgotten where the piano goes. Just a minute ago, I was reading Bachelor on the discontinuity of time. It made sense then. Now I can't find scissors anywhere. I need them to cut my bangs over the computer. I open the freezer and find the TV. Of course, it's on C-SPAN. I'm starting to get angry. Someone said, defrost anger and you get grief. Or was that turkey and gravy? That person also folded the blanket down on my bed in the garage. Beech trees are not supposed to grow in Southern California. Yet two of them intertwine like vertebrates as they stand dying in my only bathroom. Their fatal leaves fall into the toilet. The crawl space where the praying mantises live is sometimes the attic. This house doesn't have an attic, so you can see my confusion. This house has forgotten more than I can remember, deep in the drawers, closets, dusty thin lips of old file folders. A chair I've rarely paid attention to finally turns its back on me. The oven, ditto. The next poem is a poem about Antonin Artaud. He was an early French playwright, poet, and actor. He often shocked his audiences with uses of strange sounds and speaking in tongues, which is glossolalia, they call it. But I'm not going to do that. The last time I saw Antonin Artaud, I fell in love with your face. Or maybe not your face, but the lack of delirium in your eyes in the film Napoleon. Your jaw so beautiful, it should have been breaking news. Or maybe not news, but something setting off bells, an alarm that portended the pitch of your lecture on the plague, which was not a lecture, but an enactment of someone coming down with the plague. It made the theater not only find its double, but its cannibal. Or maybe not its cannibal, but its voraciousness, like an undercurrent that pulled down Icarus and his burnt wings. You who as a teenager were stabbed in the back by a pimp in Paris for no reason, whose somnambulism woke other sleepers fumbling in their beds, or maybe not their beds, but their army cots, and then the sanitarium where you remembered you owned the twisted walking stick that belonged not only to Jesus and Lucifer, but to St. Patrick, and you tried to return it to Ireland, where you were put in a straitjacket. Or maybe not a straitjacket, but a closer fitting suit, a bespoke suit. Or maybe a costume you'd wear for the rest of your life, while you dragged the sun and litmus paper moon on stage, both visible in the same hour. Or maybe not an hour, but an intermittent infinity, found in the soft spot of your madness, your godless mouth full with scatological oaths and screams, the hissing of snakes and glossolalia, after the camera flickered over your skin, shimmering as you played Marat. Or maybe not your skin, but a fiery field from which you can't escape. Or maybe not escape, but enter the room where you died, sitting at the foot of your bed, holding your shoe. And this is sort of a rant. It's called Body Politics. And if you think about it, the word free conjures voting and animals leaping back to the wild. And here, I put my head on your shoulder in the 1950s, even before I was born, and it's still there, watching Rebel Without a Cause, But we have a cause to be hyper-aware. So if you're reading this, it's too late because the fair is closed and the unfair is open. The whole country alight with uncivil rights. And if you think about it, the word free also conjures fighters and couches on the curb and everyone doing a shaky dance with congas and even snakes fleeing from their charmers. And if he says he's a woman and I'm a man. And if I say I'm a man, then he's still a woman. So bake the wedding cake with a lucky coin inside. Drown the hall in purple hydrangeas until we eat, drink, and bypass the sail that says everything must go, because scientists have taken the first ever photograph of light as both a wave and a particle, which explains so much about swimming and kissing. And that old electricity that ignited between us when you passed the beer and our fingers got entangled forever. And all I can do is go to sleep to trucks striking their tires on the curb, which sounds like the percussion in Stravinsky's Rite of Spring, and dream of the dot and the line, a kind of Morse code that says, I'm still alive, what about you? The last poem I'm going to read is called The Last Time I Saw Rainer Maria Rilke. I didn't know that was a funny title, but I'm glad to hear this. It was a long time ago, though. You go back there when you can, to the field, struck bright as if born from fire. The rest of trees, grass, sky, still and cool as a finished puzzle. The secret self, not yet ravaged. But this is where you find him, because mostly you have lived like an eternal expatriate from the country of belonging, to put aside one's own name like a broken toy. There's a vertigo that passes for illumination, electromagnetic addiction. He never knew this. The bridle that keeps you from straying all the way to the errancy, flight, and the coming on of clouds, the clear air that should be your birthright. But after you lift your fingers from the most unmusical of keys, you know you need him more than ever. You go back there as soon as you can, to the field, where the rain ticks on the loosened grass like the strings pizzicato. Part of you wanting to stay, part of you called back to this restless world. Remember the true earth with its messages you read through the soles of your feet when spring burgeoned there. And now things conspire to tell us nothing, half in shame, half in unspoken hope that we still might rescue them, like the violin he heard from a window, giving itself to someone. Thank you.